After another brief bus ride, we got to the Joint Security Area, the closest we would get to South Korea. This area is used by the two Koreas for diplomatic engagements and, until March 1991, was also the site of military negotiations between North Korea and the United Nations Command, as well as meetings of the Military Armistice Commission.
So this is the Joint Security Area, so it's a very tense area. So without wire entanglement, south and north confront.
문이 열려준 세 번째 건물이 지난 시기 군사 정전연에 해를 하던 건물입니다.
So the building from the left-hand side, which is open, it is the place where the armistice meetings of military armistice commission were held in the past.
저 건물로 들어가 보겠습니다.
So we'll have a go inside.
Interestingly, even though the entire Korean peninsula is clearly separated by miles of barbed wire fence and landmines, the North Koreans don't like anyone referring to the North and South as separate countries. One of our guys said something ideologically unsound, and I decided to correct him to get brownie points with the Gestapo. It worked.
What's two countries? It's one country just split up.
That's why this is very, very just tragedy. Okay.
This building straddles the two Koreas.
Oh, is this the border?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Between the buildings, where the demarcation line is marked by a concrete slab, two North Korean soldiers stand facing each other rather than the south, so that neither one can defect. Another guard stands behind them facing the north to prevent anyone else from making it across the border. This system tells volumes about the paradise that DPRK is. Today we only saw the North Korean troops, but apparently on alternate days the South Koreans are visible everywhere. The Joint Security Area is limited to a maximum of 35 troops at any time. All the South Korean guards here are armed with pistols and stand in a modified Taekwondo stance with solid facial expressions, clenched fists and sunglasses, which is meant to intimidate the North Koreans. They must be at least 177 centimeters tall and have a black belt in Taekwondo or Judo to serve here. It's probably a good thing we didn't see any today.
Okay, I'm going to the south. I'm in the south, and I'm going to the north. And the north.
They're not funny! From the big building nearby, we could get a good look at the two Koreas, as well as the two massive flagpoles both sides erected. In a bit of a runaway display of national pride, the poles got ever higher until the North Korean one, at 160 meters, became the tallest flagpole in the world. Way to go, Juche! Apparently the flag atop this pole is so massive it weighs 270 kilograms and has to be taken down on rainy days, as the pole can no longer support the flag when soaked.
Snipers are out. The snipers are out. Shit!
In an unexpected twist, both sides lost the mine is bigger than yours race when, out of the left field, Baku, Azerbaijan put up the tallest flagpole in the world, beating this one by another 2 meters. Azerbaijan's dear leader Ilham Aliyev was very happy to kick dear leader Kim's ass in the contest, as this for sure gets some extra points with the chicks. Go Azerbaijan! This building, next to the Joint Duty Office, is a building officially named KPA Recreation Room. North Korean soldiers would go in during conferences, part the curtains, and make all kinds of gestures through the windows. Because of this, American and South Korean troops called the building the Monkey House. While the DMZ and the resulting separation of the Koreas is a big item of propaganda for the North, there's also another item, the so-called concrete wall. We heard about it ever since arriving in Pyongyang. Supposedly there's a 2 or 3 meter high concrete wall built by the South spanning the entire width of the Korean peninsula. Everyone is highly emotional about the wall as if it was the most horrible thing in the universe. It is talked about as a deep wound through the Korean nation, as an evil structure built by the US imperialist aggressors, and is regularly denounced in very dramatic language. Oddly enough, no one ever gets to see the concrete wall, and the North only releases grainy and inconclusive photos of something that may be a wall, and from only a few locations.
It's a real wall! It's a real wall!
It's a classic case of the pot calling the kettle black, as North Korea has been much more busy building walls and fences all around and shooting people for trying to get through. But we wouldn't hear that from the North.
You want to see the concrete wall?
Yep. We were told about the wall many times, and we're told we would see it. But then we were told that maybe we'll not see it because of the weather and road conditions and the bus condition and yada yada yada. These guys were trying very hard to not let us see it. Interesting.
To see the concrete wall. So the road to the concrete wall is the math road, is the clay road. So this morning it rained. So that's why I pass. So pass. At the time we have to walk for about 2 hours. After walking for 2 hours we will miss Maskemarira. So we skip the concrete wall and then we will drop in at the tomb of King Gwangmu on the way to Pyongyang.
Gasoline. You know that one of those is a mine, right?
Yes.
Eric, pop them open. Pop one open.
Again?
No, not that one. Not that one. No. Stupid. Yeah. See, I knew that. Kimchi. Surprise.
My personal thoughts about the wall are as follows. If the wall is there, it cannot be that much more of a wound through the precious Korean nation, especially not next to the hundreds of kilometers of barbed wire fence and minefields. Both sides are extremely militarized. Why wouldn't they erect a defensive structure? I do believe Pyongyang said something about drowning the enemy in a sea of fire. Furthermore, if it indeed is such a horrible thing and the South is trying to keep it a secret, as the North claims, then why not set up viewing centers and trips to see the wall to make a mockery of the South? The official line in the DPRK is that the wall is there to keep the South Koreans from defecting to the more prosperous North. Yeah, okay. After the show was done, we drove back to the reception center. The most interesting thing was that the military guy didn't ask us for tips, but rather for cold medication. Juche, you've done it again. According to Western intelligence sources, Korean People's Army, while huge in numbers, is underpaid, underfed, and underfueled. Although relatively better off than the rest, at a meager allowance of 1,000 calories per day, Air Force pilots are at a high risk of defection. Thankfully for the dear leader, fuel shortages mean that pilots only get to fly about 15 hours per year, which reduces the chances of hightailing it to South Korea or Japan. to Kaesong, we were told to only take photos of select sites. It was okay to take photos of statues and signage, but not okay to take pictures of people on a street, construction sites, or military infrastructure such as this. However, we were strongly encouraged to visit and take photos of the gift shop. The shop was packed to the tits with both kitschy knickknacks as well as awesome propaganda-type souvenirs. You gotta love the artwork.